As the old yellow school bus trundled along the deserted country road, the driver couldn't shake the unease that settled over him like a thick fog. It was nearing midnight, and he was on his last run of the day. The only passenger left was a mysterious figure seated at the back of the bus, shrouded in darkness. The driver stole a glance in the rearview mirror and saw nothing but the silhouette of the passenger. There was something off about them, something that made his skin crawl. Their presence seemed to cast a sinister aura over the entire bus, filling the air with an icy chill. As the bus rumbled on, the driver's nerves were stretched thin. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, that every creak and groan of the old bus was somehow connected to the mysterious figure at the back. With a trembling hand, the driver gripped the steering wheel tighter, his knuckles turning white. He couldn't wait to reach the end of this route, couldn't bear the thought of being alone with that ominous passenger for a moment longer. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed through the bus, causing the driver to jump in his seat. He glanced in the mirror and saw that the mysterious figure had moved closer, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. Panic surged through the driver as he pressed down harder on the gas pedal, desperate to escape the creeping dread that filled the bus. But no matter how fast he drove, the figure continued to advance, inching ever closer with each passing moment. As they drew nearer, the driver could make out the details of their face, or what appeared to be a face. It was a twisted, contorted visage, with hollow eyes and a gaping maw that seemed to stretch impossibly wide. Terrified, the driver swerved the bus off the road, the tires screeching against the asphalt. He stumbled out of his seat and made a run for the door, desperate to flee from the nightmare that had invaded his bus. But as he reached for the handle, a cold hand closed around his wrist, stopping him in his tracks. The driver turned, his heart pounding in his chest, to find the figure standing before him, their forms shifting and twisting in the dim light. With a voice that seemed to reverberate through the very air itself, the figure spoke, sending shivers down the driver's spine. "You cannot escape me, for I am the last passenger, the harbinger of your fate." Quote. And with that, the figure's form dissolved into darkness, leaving the driver standing alone on the deserted road, the sound of distant laughter echoing in his ears. As the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, the driver stumbled back to his bus, his mind awhirl with fear and confusion. He knew that he would never forget the horror of that night, the night he had encountered the last passenger of the bus, a being from the depths of darkness, a creature of nightmares come to life. From that day on, the driver never spoke of the incident to anyone, for fear that they would think him mad. But deep down, he knew the truth, that something malevolent had boarded his bus that night, something that defied all logic and reason. And as he drove his route each day, he couldn't help but glance in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see the figure once again, waiting in the shadows for its next unsuspecting victim.